Okay, see here. This is your third unit, right? Before we are going to discuss about the third unit, we should know the what are the outcomes we need to know based on this unit, right? Here within the third unit we have a two units was there. One is a theoretic survey, another one is traversing. Two topics, right? From the theodolite, as you know, we can able to find the angular measurements. So theodolite is used for the finding the angular measurements. Okay, and traversing. So traversing is used to lay a plan. What was there in the field? So we have to change the plan into the plan exactly plan was drawn on the chart by using of any kind of equipments. Okay. So here theodolite is used not only for the angular measurements, we can able to know the RLs of the each and every station. Okay. See here type of theodolites. The type of theodolites is different, right? And it depends upon the telescope and its graduations. Okay, and also within the diaphragm, what are the crosshairs we have? If in case of if the crosshairs has three was there, right? Three crosshairs will be there means so we can be able to use the same equipment for the tachometric survey also. Okay, and next fundamental lines. So fundamental lines means how we are going to use the equipment. So what are the each and every point and which one is a telescope, which one is a bottom screw, top screw, right? So what is its advantages, right? And which one is the eyepiece and which one is the focusing screw. Okay, so how we are going to operate the equipment. What is the fundamental lines here? And next coming to the temporary adjustments. Why they have initiated as a temporary adjustments? Temporary in the sense already the permanent adjustments was adjusted by manufacturer, right? So that means here what we are doing already adjusted thing, right? So already adjusted in what we need. What we are doing, we need to again adjust by using of our surface area. So as you know that our land surface is not same, right? For that purpose, here we are going to temporary adjustments was done for level condition. Okay. And next, the measurement of horizontal angles as well as vertical angles. Okay, both we can able to find by using of this theodolite survey. Here, how we are going to calculate the horizontal angle means here we have two methods. One is a repetition method and reiteration method. Okay, but whereas coming to in the vertical angle, we have only one method, that is reiteration method. Okay. Next, trigonometrical leveling when the base is accessible and inaccessible. That means if I need to calculate our building height, right? So somewhere you have placed the instrument station and done the temporary adjustments, everything. So that means if there is access, that means from instrument to the object, right? From instrument to the object, we need to find the distance. Okay, so if you have access to find the distance, that is meant by accessible. If in case of if there is any obstruction in between, you have any partition wall was there, right? Otherwise, any compound wall will be there. Means in that case, so we can't able to find the exact distance. Of course, if you know the wall thickness, you can able to find that is the second thing. But we can't able to find the distance exactly. I mean, through the directly we can't able to measure, right? So that is the case that will happen. That is the meant by inaccessible. And next coming to the traversing methods of traversing. So here we have so many methods. What is it? Traversing. Traverse means it may visible from the where we have placed the instrument station. From there itself, it should be clearly visible of the neighboring of points. Okay, next, traverse computation. How we are going to traversing here? Already I told you by using of plain table survey, we are going to traversing, right? So how we are going to traverse means by using of plain tables. We have one of the radiation method, intersection method was there, right? So such a same thing here also. We have a by using of compass or plane table or theodolites or fly level, auto level. This kind of equipment was there. How we are going to compute as well as adjust. Next, Gale's Traverse table. Gale's Traverse table means, so he has a one of the author has given the complete table, that means which you have observed from the field that you have to mention in one call. I mean two within the respective columns, right? Next, here what is that means, some error will be occurred due to of local attraction, right? So the what is the correction or error that we have to included in this table column, right? So error as well as correction and corrected bearings and angles itself. Okay, so this everything will coming under in one table. Okay, so that is meant by Gale's Traverse table. Next, coming to the omitted measurements. Omitted measurements means here you have one of the traverse was there, right? The traverse, how we are going to traverse the section means, if you know the angle as well as distance, then only it will be coming a closer together and a closer traverse. If in case of it was not possible, okay, if in case of it was not possible, okay, so if in case of it was not possible means, if you know the angle but doesn't know the distance, already we have drawn a one of the line for calculating the compass survey, right? So if the traverse should be closed means when it happened means if you know the angle as well as distance, right? Within that, you know one side, for example, BC distance you know, and angle of AB, right? So angle of AB తెలుసు, BC distance తెలుసు. I mean ఆ రెండు distance మిస్ అయింది. ఓకే, సో సేమ్ లైన్కి యాంగిల్ డిస్టెన్స్ మిస్ అయి ఉండొచ్చు, అదర్వైజ్ ఒక లైన్కి యాంగిల్ ఇంకో లైన్కి డిస్టెన్స్ మిస్ అయి ఉంటే ఆ మిస్ అయిన వాటిని క్యాలిక్యులేట్ చేయాలి. ఓకే, సో దట్ ఈస్ meant by omitted measurements. See here, theodolite. Already I told you that theodolite is used to measure the horizontal as well as vertical angles. Horizontal angles means here we have here one of the horizontal graduations was there, right? And vertically we have graduations was there. I mean two graduations was there. One is started with from 0 to 360 degrees. I mean end with 360 degrees. That means it was a completely graduation start with 0 to 360 and its least count is 20 seconds. Okay, whereas the compared to compass is we have only 30 minutes is the least count. Okay, whereas coming to in the theodolite, in our theodolite, I mean in our laboratory, the least count of the theodolite is 20 seconds. If you want more accuracy, go for the 10 seconds is the accuracy. That means if the cost will be increased, right? So due to for perspective of that, it may increase. So respective of that, it may get the accuracy. So see here, 10 seconds. 10 seconds means how we are going to take the value, right? So it depends upon the one we can use which one is the better. Okay. And whereas coming to in the vertical graduations, vertical circle, right? So within the vertical circle, it has started with, I mean, it was split like a quadrant section. That means 0 to 90, 90 to 0. Like that, they have placed a graduations within the vertical circle. And theodolite is more precise than magnetic compass. Why? Why it is more precise than magnetic compass means, so why? Because already we have mentioned within the prismatic compass, it was completely depends upon the surrounding area, right? Not only for the surrounding area, and it was depends upon the magnetic needle, and its least count is 30 minutes itself, right? And whereas coming to the theodolite, here we are selecting the line of the meridian. Okay, so that is the arbitrary meridian. We are going to select, that means whichever it may be, we have selected one of the point that I have taken as a meridian and kept the graduation within the horizontal as 0 degrees. 0 means 0 seconds. Okay, whereas coming to in the vertical circle, whereas coming to in the vertical circle, so vertical circle has, eh, so within the vertical circle, we can't able to set the 0 degrees. 0 means 0 seconds. In which condition we can able to set means, if the telescope is exactly horizontal or parallel to the earth surface or perpendicular to the plumb line, in that case only the vernier C and vernier D will be 0 degrees. 0 minutes 0 seconds. Okay, so that only for the purpose of to calculate the height of the instrument. In that case, we are going to set the telescope in both vernier C as well as vernier D will be 0 degrees. 0 means 0 seconds. Okay, and the variety of the theodolite, vernier optic, electronic, etc. That means here we have a theodolite. Theodolite has complete depends upon the vernier scales. I think so already you have learned in your physics lab, right? And optical glass. Within the telescope, we have arranged one of the optical glass, and total station is completely depend upon the electronic device. Okay, and see this one from the olden days to nowadays. So, what are the instruments? How it was changed? Just glance this one, and here see the image variation. How they have variated. In the bottom of the two images are completely depends. I mean, completely designed by electrically electronics. Okay, on the top two are nowadays we are using, I mean, present in our laboratory we are using such kind of theodolites. See that one. See here within this figure, so here so many instruments was there. That means here we have a horizontal bubble and vertical bubble was there, and at the bottom three foot screws is there. By using our three foot screws only, we can able to adjust and level the equipment, right? Okay, and here At the bottom, bottom of the two images represents the total station. It has a infrared rays. One of the focusing light will be there, right? So based on the ray passed or reflected from the reflector, right? Based on the reflector image itself, it shows the how much distance from the instrument to the reflector. Okay, so that means ఓన్లీ రిఫ్లెక్టర్ మీద రిఫ్లెక్ట్ అయ్యే రే లైట్ ఏదైతే పాస్ చేస్తుందో సో ఆ లైట్ డైమెన్షన్ దాని డార్క్నెస్ ని బేస్ చేసుకొని రైట్ ఇట్ గివ్స్ ద హారిజాంటల్ డిస్టెన్స్. ఓకే, సో బేస్డ్ ఆన్ ద లైట్ రిఫ్లెక్టెడ్ బేస్ చేసుకొని ఇస్తుంది కాబట్టి దట్స్ వై ఈ టోటల్ స్టేషన్ అనేది ఇన్ వింటర్ సీజన్స్ యూజ్ చేయలేము. వై బికాజ్ వాట్ విల్ హ్యాపన్, ఈ వింటర్ సీజన్స్లో ఆ మంచు ఏదైతే పడుతుందో దానివల్ల ఎగ్జాక్ట్ డిస్టెన్స్ అంటే ఆ రే పాస్ అయ్యే రే డార్క్నెస్ అనేది బ్రైట్ లైట్ చేసేస్తుంది, రైట్? సో అంటే ఎగ్జాక్ట్గా డిస్టెన్స్ ఏదైతే ఉందో ఇట్ షోస్ ద డిఫరెంట్ వాల్యూస్, రైట్? అందుకని వాట్ వీఆర్ డూయింగ్, వీఆర్ నాట్ ఏబుల్ టు యూజ్ ఇన్ rainy seasons also. The electronic device, it should not shows the exact value and it should not clear itself. Okay, this is the internal part. The pink color indicates that is a vertical axis, that is a plumb bob line. Okay, so plumb bob line is nothing but vertical axis are perpendicular to the surface area. Okay, and you have to observe here one of the traverse, that is the horizontal axis will be there. That means the vertical graduations and telescope was attached to the one of the shaft, so it's supposed to it's support to the telescope to rotate throughout 360 degrees. Okay, see here the point at which you observed are observations are reduced. So that means, so the point at intersection of the line of sight as well as traverse horizontal axis, right? So the horizontal axis and line of sight where it was intersect, the point is exactly intersected with vertical axis also. Okay, from there itself there is one of the prism was placed, and through the prism our line of sight will be varied. Okay, and next coming to the aldehyde assembling. So we are not using aldehyde here for the vertical axis. We have a one of the section, right? So internally we have a one of the spirit bubbles was placed attached to the equipment for level condition. If you are going to calculate the vertical angles, the vertical bubble should be center. Otherwise, if you are going to calculate horizontal angles of both, in the case means just you go for the horizontal bubbling. So horizontal either bubbling in the spirit bubble, that you have to maintain a center. And leveling head, on the leveling head we have a 3 foot screws was there in between leveling head and level condition. Okay, and one of the graduations was there, that is a horizontal circle. See here, horizontal circle and vertical circle was fixed, right? And it has a 2 plates. One is a main scale plate and another one is vernier scale plate. Okay, when we are using upper clamp, so when we are clamp the upper clamp, then the vernier scale will be standard. The only the when we are going to rotate the telescope, only the horizontal will be rotated. So that means the horizontal angles will be moved, right? This is the complete internal section, internal parts of the theodolite. Okay, Just to see the gun. If you have any doubts, ask me. So, what is the first one? First one indicates number one is vertical circle. Okay, so it was represented in a 0 to 90, 90 to 0. Next, two is the vertical bubble, right? So, that is one of the spirit bubble, but we are using as a when we are going to calculate the vertical angles. In that case, we need to center the bubble. Which bubble we are going to center? That is the vertical number 2, right? And we have a number 5 also, one of the plate bubble was there. Okay, that means if the line అంటే ఆ టెలిస్కోప్ లో ఉండే యాక్సిస్ ఆల్రెడీ వీ హ్యావ్ సీన్ ప్రీవియస్ ఫిగర్ the pink line and the axis of the telescope and line of sight will be joined at one particular point, right? So that is nothing but when we are going to center the vertical bubble, that is meant by altitude bubble, right? Then it will intersect the points. Next, horizontal axis. So number three is the horizontal axis. So that is the one of the shaft to rotate the telescope freely, right? And vernier arm. Number four is the vernier arm. It is the one of the support for the A-frame structure. And fifth one is the plate bubble, right? So there is a horizontal spirit bubble. And next, sixth one is the graduation arc, right? So see here we have this dark line indicates here the graduation radius will be represented, and remaining of the circle will be empty, and it's supposed to move the, I mean, it will be move along with the A-frame structure. Okay. Next, leveling head. So leveling head is is used to place the leveling head on the tripod stand. So tripod stand with leveling head ఉంటుంది, right? So such a same will be there at the bottom of the theodolite. సో ఆ రెండు ఒకదాని మీద ఒకటి ప్లేస్ చేసి ఉన్న తర్వాత దెన్ వీఆర్ గోయింగ్ టు లాక్ ద కీ. నెక్స్ట్, క్లాంపింగ్ నట్. సో క్లాంపింగ్ నట్ అదే దాన్ని ప్లేస్ చేసిన తర్వాత క్లాంప్ చేయడం, right? Next, vertical axis. So that is a plumb up line and telescope, as you know that, right? So it has a optical glass was there. Through the optical glass itself, we are focusing the object. Okay, and vertical circle clamp screw. So vertical clamp is used to for why we are going to use the vertical clamp means once if the telescope was fixed, sorry, if the telescope was directed towards the object and fix the clamp, the number 11 is you are going to clamp the screw, then the telescope will be standing towards the object. Okay. Next, number 12. So that is also one of the frame, I mean it was a arm. of the shaft, right? Next, 13 is a standard, that is a A-frame యొక్క wall, right? And as you know, 14 number is the line of sight. That means we are going to focusing the object, our eyesight will move along the line of sight. Next, upper plate clamp screw. So upper plate clamp screw. So upper plate clamp screw ante, so here at the bottom we have a main scale was there, on top we have vernier scale was there. మీరు అప్పర్ క్లాంప్ కానీ క్లాంప్ చేశారంటే వెర్నియర్ స్కేల్ విల్ బి స్టాండర్డ్, రైట్? అంటే ఓన్లీ ఆ మెయిన్ స్కేల్ రీడింగ్స్ ఏవైతే ఉన్నాయో అక్కడ మాత్రం రొటేట్ అవుతుంది. అంటే వెన్ వీఆర్ గోయింగ్ టు start with 0 degrees, 0 means 0 seconds, or otherwise 180 degrees. In that purpose, you have to keep or clamp the upper clamp. Okay, so upper clamp, once we have clamped, then the vernier scale will be constant. Next, axis of the plate bubble, as we know that, right? So that is one of the axis, horizontal axis of the complete instrument, not for the section, right? So only itself, that is a horizontal axis for the its instrument itself. Next, upper plate, lower plate. So upper plate and lower plate, right? So within the horizontal graduations, we have upper plate and lower plate will be there. What is it one? Lower plate clamp screw. So lower plate clamp screw means the, what is that one? Main scale will be constant when you have clamped the lower plate, right? So lower clamp కానీ once fix చేసాము అంటే the whole main scale will be maintained constant. అంటే in the repetition method you are going to use the lower clamp. Okay, so what is that one? You have taken as one of the arbitrary benchmark, arbitrary meridian line. So for example, if you have taken as one of the a మా ఇప్పుడే ఎగ్జిట్ అయ్యానా? చాలాసేపు అయిందా?
5 minutes అయింది సార్. 5 minutes అయింది సార్.
ఇప్పుడేనామా అయింది? 5 minutes అయిందా? సాయి హారిక
సార్ అదే సార్, మీరు అంటే ఒక 5 minutes గా మీరు కనిపించలేదు సార్. మీ వాయిస్ కానీ మీరు లేనది చూపించింది సార్ మీటింగ్ లో.
అదే మా ఎంతసేపు అయింది అనేసి.
కరెక్ట్గా 5 minutes అయింది సార్.
5 minutes. మీరు ఇంతకుముందు పార్ట్స్ అన్ని విన్నారా అయితే?
అవంతా వచ్చింది సార్.
ఓకే సరే. Okay, listen. From the internal view of the theolite, right? See here how they are going to place in the one.
ప్రెజెంటేషన్ రావడం లేదు సార్.
Okay. Okay, now see this one. This is the internal view of the theolite, right? So how they are going to arrange the horizontal circle as well as vertical circles, right? That means the axis of the telescope of horizontal axis, that is the one of the shaft, horizontal axis of the telescope, right? And next coming to the vertical axis. Okay, so the vertical axis in the sense that is the plumb bob line are vertical of the instrument itself. Okay, and here they have provided a one of the optical glass at near to the object. Okay, and the intersection of the point O, you have to observe the three lines should be intersected at one point, that is a O. Okay, see here in the horizontal circle it starts with 0 degrees, 0 means, and 0 seconds, just as we have started with. That means one of the orbital benchmark as we have taken, right? So based on that itself, we are going to calculating the values. See this one. So within the horizontal circle, they have maintained these are the things. That means, see here, you have to observe it starts with 0, 10, 20, 30 like that, right? In the internal graduations, you have up to 180. Okay, so 180,000, then what will happen? It may again reducing the from 180 to 0. So descending order was placed. I mean, within the some of the graduations, some of the theologies will be like this: 0 to 180, again 180 to 0. Okay, so that means in the both ends. So when we are going to take the horizontal angle at vernier A as well as vernier B, right? In that case, what you are getting? You are getting the same value for both vernier A and vernier B. Same in the sense only in that way of degrees itself. అంటే డిగ్రీస్ మాత్రమే మనకు సేమ్ గా వస్తాయి అండ్ మినిట్స్ సెకండ్స్ విల్ బి వేరీ డిపెండ్స్ అపాన్ ద కండిషన్. ఓకే, సో డిగ్రీస్ మనకు మాత్రం సేమ్ గా వస్తుంది అట్ వెనియర్ ఏ అండ్ బి. అండ్ వెనియర్ బి ఏతో కంపేర్ చేసినప్పుడు మనకేమవుతుంది? ద వాల్యూస్ విల్ బి వేరీడ్. ఇక్కడ మనకు వెనియర్ స్కేల్ రీడింగ్స్ మాత్రం వేరీ అవుతాయి. ఓకే, సో ఆ వెనియర్ స్కేల్ వల్ల మనకు వెనియర్ స్కేల్లో వచ్చేది మనకు మినిట్స్ సెకండ్స్, మెయిన్ స్కేల్ నుంచి డిగ్రీస్ మినిట్స్ వస్తుంది, రైట్. ఇన్ ద వెనియర్ స్కేల్ వీఆర్ గెటింగ్ ద అగైన్ మినిట్స్ అండ్ సెకండ్స్. అంటే మినిట్స్ మాత్రం మనకు మెయిన్ స్కేల్ యాజ్ వెల్ యాజ్ వెనియర్ స్కేల్ నుంచి వస్తాయి, దానిన్నిటిని యాడ్ చేసుకోవాలి. ఓకే, and here we have a face right and face left observations was there. Okay, face right and face left. మనం ఎప్పుడు ఫేస్ లెఫ్ట్ అండ్ ఎప్పుడు ఫేస్ రైట్ అంటాము అంటే, ఇఫ్ ద వర్టికల్ సర్కిల్, సో వర్టికల్ సర్కిల్ ఆఫ్ ది అబ్జర్వర్, ఐ మీన్ సర్వేయర్. ఓకే, సో సర్వేయర్ కి లెఫ్ట్ సైడ్ ఉంటే లెఫ్ట్ అబ్జర్వేషన్స్ అని, రైట్ సైడ్ ఉంటే రైట్ అబ్జర్వేషన్స్ అని అంటాం. ఓకే, అండ్ టెలిస్కోప్ షుడ్ బి నార్మల్. If the surveyor has the graduation, vertical graduation was there, vertical circle was there in the left side, then the telescope is normal. If it was there in the right side, then the telescope should be inverted. Inverted means ఇప్పుడు మనం ఎలా అయితే ఫోకస్ చేస్తున్నామో, అబ్జర్వ్ చేస్తున్నామో, రైట్. సో అబ్జర్వ్ చేసి ఆ డైరెక్షన్ నుంచి మనకి ఏంది, టెలిస్కోప్ ని 180 degrees రొటేట్ చేస్తున్నాం. ఓకే, అంటే ఫర్ ఎగ్జాంపుల్ నేను ఇప్పుడు ఇక్కడ నుంచి O2A చూస్తున్నాను, రైట్. సో O2A ఏదైతే ఫోకస్ చేశారో సేమ్ లైన్లోనే నాకు ఇంకొక పాయింట్ కావాలి అన్నప్పుడు నేను ఏం చేస్తున్నా, టెలిస్కోప్ని 180 degrees రొటేట్ చేసి, ఓకే, సో ఈ పక్క ఇంకొక పాయింట్ సెలెక్ట్ చేసుకుంటాం. సో దట్ ఈస్ మెన్ బై టెలిస్కోప్ వాజ్ ఇన్వర్టెడ్. ఓకే, అండ్ చేంజింగ్ ద ఫేస్. సో చేంజింగ్ ద ఫేస్ ఎప్పుడు చేంజ్ అవుతుంది అంటే, వెన్ ద టెలిస్కోప్ వాజ్ ఇన్వర్టెడ్ అబౌట్ 180 degrees. అంటే మనకు టెలిస్కోప్ అనేది ఎప్పుడైతే ఉందో దాన్ని ఎప్పుడైతే ఇన్వర్ట్ చేస్తామో, ఇన్వర్ట్ చేస్తేనే దెన్ యూ విల్ గెట్ ద ఫేస్ రైట్ అబ్జర్వేషన్స్. ఓకే, సీ హియర్. ఇంతకుముందు ఇక్కడ ఈ ఇమేజ్లో మనకేంది పిక్చర్, సీ హియర్, ఇక్కడ మనకు స్క్రూ ఉంది, వర్టికల్ క్లాంప్, రైట్, ఐ మీన్ ఫోకసింగ్ స్క్రూ. సో ఆ ఫోకసింగ్ స్క్రూ ఎప్పుడైతే ఇక్కడ వర్టికల్ సర్కిల్ గ్రాడ్యుయేషన్స్ ఉన్నాయి, రైట్. సో వర్టికల్ గ్రాడ్యుయేషన్స్ ఇక్కడ ఉన్నప్పుడు మనకు లెఫ్ట్ అబ్జర్వేషన్స్ అని లెఫ్ట్ సైడ్ ఉంటే, అండ్ ఈ స్క్రూ చూడండి, ఈ వర్టికల్ స్క్రూ అనేది మనకు ఇక్కడికి చేంజ్ అయింది. ఓకే, టెలిస్కోప్ మాత్రం మనకు నార్మల్గానే అంటే ఇన్వర్ట్ చేసాం కాబట్టి, సో వర్టికల్ సర్కిల్ విల్ బి ఆన్ రైట్ సైడ్ మీన్స్ ఆఫ్ ద సర్వేయర్, దెన్ ఇట్ షుడ్ బి రైట్ సైడ్ అబ్జర్వేషన్స్. Okay, so next class we will discuss about the temporary adjustments. Why? Because your seniors has SRP project review was there, okay, at 10:20. Okay, so I need to join in the review. If you have any doubts here, just ask me. I'll share this PPT also. Okay, just go to this one and ask me the doubts if in case of if you have any doubts in the next class. Okay, if you have any doubts, ask me right now, otherwise you can left from the meeting. Post your attendance before you are leaving.
Sir,
Yes,
sir, at a time vertical scale లో హారిజంటల్ స్కేల్ లో రీడింగ్ తీసుకుంటామా సార్?
if you are going to calculate the horizontal angle means you are completely depend upon the horizontal graduations. Okay, vertical means vertical graduations.
ఓకే.
Okay,
Wow.